Nick, you ready to not play Persona for like 4 months?
Why?
I don't know.
I still need to continue Bayonetta.
Why would I not play Persona for 4 months?
I mean, you got Sonic Frontiers, didn't you?
You think it's going to take me 4 months to beat Sonic Frontiers?
Yeah.
Dude, an open
It's a
world
20-hour
Sonic
game.
In an open world Sonic game, I would have so much fun.
You should.
It's supposedly a 20-hour game, so if I really focus on it, I'll be done with it before the end of the year.
You should.
And then I'll go back to Persona. Hello and welcome to the Joystick Drift Podcast, the show where we drift off just as much as a joystick. This is episode 9, and today I am joined by Colin and Alex. Unfortunately, Melina could not be here with us tonight, but that's okay, because the three of us are still here, and that's okay. But I do want to note, this episode is coming out on Melina's birthday, so happy birthday, Melina, assuming you actually listen to this episode on your birthday. And happy birthday. You are now an age a year older than you were last year. Isn't that crazy?
Didn't die.
And you didn't die, which is always a good thing. So yeah, today we are just going to be talking about Zelda. I don't really know what overarching about Zelda. I know we're going to do a tier list of all the games later in the episode. But other than that, we're just kind of going to talk about Zelda, our favorite games. Colin has a hot take to share. Maybe some Tears of the Kingdom speculation. I don't know. Maybe I'm going to place a little bit of a bet at the end, and you'll have to wait and find out what the bet is. So yeah, with all that being said, before we jump into the episode, let me just take a second to plug all of our socials. Linked in the description. You can check out our Instagram at Joystick Drift Pod. And of course, here on YouTube, you can subscribe, hit the notification bell, all that stuff. I'm working on all kinds of great videos coming out. By the time this episode goes out, there should be a What's in My Backlog video and a video about, the game tracking app. So, and I'm actually going to film another one this week, hopefully. So, which will come out right around when this episode comes out. So, all kinds of great stuff on YouTube. If you're listening on audio, check us out on YouTube or leave a 5-star rating and review on Spotify, Apple Podcast, all that cool stuff. Now, with that being said, I'm going to pass the mic over to Colin. How are you doing this week? Do share.
I'm once again really tired. I had a morning today. I woke up at 5 a.m. this morning to watch. I'm dating what day this was recorded on, to watch the full lunar eclipse because I wanted to take some pictures of it. And then there were just clouds covering everything, and I was very angry because I was just lost sleep over absolutely nothing.
No blood moon for you.
No blood moon. No blood moon. I was really sad. But yeah, I just recently finished a game, actually. I finished Valhalla, Cyberpunk Bartender Action. Very good game.
Never heard of it.
Game. Well, it's a good game. You should play it.
Now
It's a
you've heard
visual
of
novel.
I will say, I saw today on Twitter, Atlas posted, they were like, you can get all these different games for 75% off on the PlayStation Store. And one of them was 13 Sentinels. And I was like, mark it down on the eShop and I'll buy it.
Yo,
Which
13
I would
Sentinels is a good game.
assume an eShop price decrease is coming eventually. If they're doing it for PlayStation, they'll probably do it for Switch too. So that's
then
the
they
hope. I will
don't.
buy it.
Oh,
And then they don't, and it stays at $60.
dang.
Well, was that it, Colin? Is that all you
Yeah,
had?
that was it.
All right, Alex, how are you?
I'm doing pretty good. I just started playing Bayonetta 1 on my Switch. And all I have to say is, dang, Bayonetta, she is a waifu.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Look, one thing I was not
well,
I was not expecting, like, when she's using, like, like special attacks, her clothes turn into that special attack, and so her.
Have you not played Smash?
I have not seen that much Bayonetta in Smash. The only time I played Bayonetta is when we picked randoms, and I had to play as her.
That is literally
That's
her
true.
entire moveset.
I never noticed. all I'm thinking about is beating up Link's Nick.
You mean Nick's Links?
Like, I do not know why I said the other way around. No, that's all I focused on. I never like paid attention, and besides, all I remember is just playing as Cloud and kicking ass.
That's true. Alex is a Cloud main.
Or getting angry because I get Isabelle.
Bro, you
Listen,
can wreck shit with
Isabelle is a top tier character, honestly.
A lot of her attacks are good. They're just not long range. They're like short range. You had to.
They don't need to be long range.
Yeah, you just
You
pop
can go
somebody
and
with a
just wreck
confetti.
shit.
Bam.
But
If anything, you could just pocket anything that needs to be long range, and then boom, you win.
But hey, if I get Cloud or Sephiroth, I am happy.
I still don't have the DLC for Smash.
I need to get the DLC because I want to play Pyramithra.
I want to get
Pyramithra,
the
I don't
DLC
care.
now because I want to play Joker.
But yeah, I've been
So
playing.
eventually I'll just buy the whole pass.
But yeah, I've been playing Bayonetta, and it's a good game. So Nick, how are you doing?
Oh my gosh. Wow, thanks for asking. I'm doing good. I've been working on a lot of stuff behind the scenes for the podcast, like recording videos and scripting videos and editing and all that. Working on some good stuff for that. As for me personally, I just got Sonic Frontiers today. I haven't played it yet because I was busy today. But I did maybe do a live stream on the channel of me playing it for the first time. I have it scheduled. That doesn't mean it's done yet. So you'll know by the time this episode comes out if I did or not. So I'm looking forward to playing that. I finished the second palace in Persona 5. So I am making headway in Persona. I know I'm like not even I don't even want to say a percentage amount into the game.
You're
'cause
about
it's
10% done.
10%. Nice.
Just about.
Nice. So yeah, playing Persona, which is great. Yeah, I think that's it. Just playing video games, trying to stay on top of it. I'm also playing Fortnite, but we already knew that. I'm always playing Fortnite.
Fortnite actually Fortnite has a new gun game mode. And
when did they add that? Did they add that this week?
they added today.
Oh,
And
Bro, imagine playing Fortnite.
and thing
Imagine
is,
not
it's actually
playing
a
Fortnite.
great way to farm XP. I got like a ton of XP in one game. I got like over 20,000. Because
sir.
because the thing is, it's multiple rounds. You have to get 30 kills total, like as you progress through the weapons. But in total, there's like 30
Okay.
kills. Say you don't get a setback. And for playing for 5 minutes, you get like a few thousand XP. So it's a really great way to farm.
Dang, I'm gonna have to do that. I'm so close to level 100, and I want to get. I think to get all of the bonus skins I want, I need to get to level 180 before December 2nd.
Yeah.
Which I don't
I'm like,
think that's humanly possible.
I'm over level 140.
Dang, I really do not be playing Fortnite as much as I should.
I just
be.
grind for the XP. I do a lot of the quests.
Understandable.
And essentially, yeah, that's about it. And the gun game
Yeah.
mode is a really great way, so I'm going to be playing that all night.
Do they have duos for it?
No, there's no duos for it. It's just 16 players total per
Aw.
lobby.
Shame. Oh well. Well, with all that out of the way, I'm trying to think. What do I want to start with?
Oh, yeah.
I'm just gonna look at the show notes.
And
Colyn,
people,
would you like to tell us? Go ahead, Alex.
I'm sure you've noticed, but new camera quality for me.
Yeah, Alex has finally joined the ranks of using a real camera.
I bought a cam link, and it was actually really strange because when I ordered it, I was expecting the 1080 one, but no, they sent the 4K cam link. And Nick, I'm pretty sure you said that's what happened with you as well. You ordered the 1080 one, which was like $114.
Oh no, I ordered the 4K one.
Oh, I ordered the 1080,
and they sent me the 4K one.
I ordered the 1080p one, and they sent me the 4K. This is a
free upgrade.
This is worth $140 brand new, and I paid $114.
See, that's a W, is what we call that.
One time I ordered a brush for a drawing class, and then they sent me 12.
Did it specify that was like a pack of those?
No. It was a single one, and they sent me 12.
How much did it cost?
Like $7.
I mean, now you got spare, I guess.
Hey.
I haven't used
Yeah,
them
it saved
since that
you
semester.
a lot of $7.
Now you can sell.
That way.
Now you can drop ship them.
Yeah.
True. So I'm looking at our show notes here. I wrote this like 2 weeks ago. Colyn, would you like to tell us about, quote, the sheer strength of Twilight Princess Zelda's thighs?
So we're starting off strong, aren't we?
Like Zelda's thighs, yeah.
Exactly.
Much like Zelda's
all right.
thighs.
So, all right. So I'm gonna, just, it's funny. I'm listening to music, and Zelda's Lullaby is playing right now. So Nick, put that as the music for this clip. But anyway, so you guys know Twilight Princess Zelda, right?
Of course.
I'm off center.
Yep.
Hold on. There we go. Now I'm centered. Anyway, you guys know Twilight Princess Zelda, right? She's pretty great. Unique design, in my opinion, one of the better designs of Zelda. However, there's a certain feature about her that is interesting that very much goes overlooked. And that is during the final battle in Twilight Princess, which is also like 4 phases long. It's very long.
Oh god.
A neat thing that I noticed, and that I also noticed from I think it was an old Tumblr post, was Twilight Princess Zelda. Throughout the entire portion of the third phase, which is the horseback phase, she is riding Epona bareback, where Link is riding with a saddle, right? She's also holding the light arrows and the light bow. So, it's weird, right? How is she staying on this horse that is moving and actively attacking someone, right? But let me put this into even more further context here. Think about this. Link himself, when he gets hit by Ganondorf, he falls off of the horse, and he has a saddle. You want to know what Zelda does? You want to know what this badass bitch does? She literally sits there on the horse, stays on the horse the entire time, looks at Link, and just says, pathetic. After all of that, Link gets knocked off the horse. He's just having a bad day at this point. And then the one person who just thanked him for everything he's done just looks at him and just goes, bro, pathetic. Think about the sheer amount of just strength that is needed from both thighs there. It's astronomical. And that is why Twilight Princess Zelda has some absolute thunder thighs.
I respect the argument.
I want to know what her
I
want to know what her leg day workout looks like. Seriously. What does that look like?
There are a couple machines that I use to improve my thighs for leg day.
I don't think they have workout
those.
machines in Hyrule.
Maybe she just does squats all day, like while she's sitting in the tower.
True. What do you think she
Squats
squats
all
on?
day?
Goron?
Yes.
She gets
And yeah,
no,
I
we
know
can't
I
use
just
Goron.
said that.
We can't use
But
Gorons.
I don't care. That was good for comedic effect, wasn't it, audience?
We can use Gorons as
It
like
was.
an example for leg day because look at their legs.
And
Their legs are tiny.
They skip leg day.
Do
over
you-
there.
No, you gotta hold them. You gotta hold them like a weight and squat like with them in your arms.
no, I'm thinking literally a barbell. Or the bar. And it's literally they're just like curled up in their ball form on the bar.
Holding the bar.
Like, just think
I mean,
about
hey.
that. It's too strong. Okay, actually, no. You know what? Follow-up point. How many watermelons do you think she can crush with just her thighs?
Are we talking about all at once or before
Yes.
she gets tired?
Yes.
All at once? How tall is she?
Um,
Because that's going to determine your
I'll look it
thigh
up.
to watermelon ratio. Because
How tall?
you only have so much thigh space
5'6".
before you wouldn't be able to fit any more watermelon.
She is
Only
5'6"?
Yes.
How tall is Link in Twilight Princess?
A little bit taller, like maybe 5'11".
5'8".
Really?
According to Miyamoto.
Let's go.
How tall? Well, how tall is Ganon? Because I know Ganon is like.
The man's like 6 feet
Excuse
tall.
my analogy, but I know Ganon is tall enough to where Link can literally give him head standing up.
9'2".
9'2".
Hold on, Nick. I need to send you the graph so you, if you want to, you can put it on screen because it's really funny.
Hold on a minute.
Oh my gosh, what have we devolved into in the first bit
I
of
found
this
it.
episode?
I found it.
So if Twilight Princess Link is 5'8", that means him and I are essentially the same height.
Hold on a minute. Get this. I'm looking up how tall is Zelda in Twilight Princess, and this doesn't make sense.
Look at that height chart.
And it says in Breath of the Wild she's 4'10".
Yeah, that makes sense.
Twilight Princess she's 4'6".
Wait, this height chart says that Link and Zelda are 4 feet tall.
What the?
4 foot.
I'll crush them.
Link is 4 foot
I don't
5.
think it. Don't pay attention to the measurements. Just look at the actual height chart. Just look at that graph.
Yeah. Yeah, I see it. Also, Breath of the Wild Zelda is short.
Yeah, she is. She's really short.
Correction.
She's 4'10".
Breath of the Wild, Link and Zelda are short. But also, shout out to Link. He was shorter than Zelda pre-Calamity, and then post-Calamity, he was taller than her. So, Shrine of Resurrection clearly did some work.
Oh, I found out where you got that chart from.
DeviantArt.
Google?
Yeah.
Yeah.
DeviantArt.
Yeah, but it's still the same models.
I know, but I just found I was looking it up and I found the chart. I
But
thought they
anyway.
were taller than that.
Maybe they are. Maybe Miyamoto was lying. Not
Miyamoto
saying the
does do
creator
that.
of the franchise is a liar.
Miyamoto may be a liar, but he's a genius on what gets fans to play games.
You know?
You say that.
Yeah, he got Colyn with the thunder thighs.
That was either Miyamoto or that was Aonuma. Hold on. Actually, that was just the
hold on.
designer. The designer who designed...
Whoever designed Twilight Princess Zelda really said,
Twilight
I'm going to do
Princess.
Breath of the Wild Zelda too.
Zelda. I don't know how to spell Zelda. There we go.
What they did with Breath of the Wild Zelda, giving her yoga pants and a dumpy, that was intentional. That was
Okay, well,
intentional. 100%.
They're trying to gain an anime audience.
They really are.
Am I complaining? Are you
They really are.
complaining?
No.
Exactly.
Breath of the Wild. We concluded this on, what was it, the Childhood Crushes episode? Breath of the Wild Zelda is the hottest Zelda.
Disagree.
I still say Hyrule Warriors.
Disagree.
I still say Hyrule Warriors.
I still say
I
Twilight
need
Princess, man.
You got a thing for brunettes, Colin? Is that what it is?
Twilight Princess Zelda is the reason I'm into brunettes. I
Yeah,
played that game
sounds
when I
about
was
right.
like 11.
Yeah. No, that makes sense.
Hyrule Warriors Zelda is why my celebrity crush is Peyton List.
Or is Peyton List the reason your favorite Zelda is Hyrule Warriors Zelda? Gotta ask the tough questions here.
I'm gonna need time for another
Exactly.
Zelda episode to think on this.
Okay. Don't forget, though, in like 4 episodes when we do another Zelda episode, eventually. Okay, guys, hear me out on this one. No, actually, I'm not going to say that because then I'll get a...
No. Now
I'll
you
have
gotta
a
say
certain...
it.
I'll have a certain connotation.
Bro said, all right, hear me out here.
Never mind.
Goodbye.
Exactly. That's exactly
me
what
out.
you did.
Navi. Wait, now I'm really curious. Is there... I'm sure it exists, but is there fan art of Navi as a human?
Yes.
Hold on.
There's official art of Navi as a human because Navi is just
There
a tiny
is?
human. It's just a tiny
She's
human.
she's a fairy.
Yeah.
Think of it as like Tinkerbell, but 100 times better.
You're
I mean,
telling
hey.
me something screaming, "Hey, listen, look out." Hey, listen, is
Well,
better
it's better than the
somebody who just
narcissistic
rings a bell.
Tinkerbell.
Tinkerbell tried to
Bro,
kill.
Tinkerbell almost...
She tried to kill Wendy.
Tinkerbell also almost died because she didn't get enough attention, and I mean sane.
Exactly.
Yeah, but she tried to kill Wendy because she's a freaking yandere.
Multiple times.
Because she's a yandere.
True, which is why Navi is better, because Navi's never tried to kill anyone intentionally that we know of.
Now,
She
Tattle on the other
She
hand.
helped Link kill Ganon because Navi is not a yandere.
She's a good person. Good fairy, I guess. If you want to put it that way. If Navi's a fairy, why did she never revive Link when he died?
Special
She just let him die.
Maybe there's.
Colin, you gotta come back to the mic.
Maybe
I
she's
can't
a
hear
different
you.
kind of fairy.
Special fairy, that's why.
Yeah, I was up to like maybe she doesn't. She's not
plot
that kind
armor.
of fairy.
I mean, yeah, whatever. Anyway.
But wait a minute.
Anyway.
Nah, never mind.
No. Just no.
Nah, because
Actually.
my thought was wrong.
Yeah, I didn't want to say Navi because then everyone's going to be like, well, Nick's into Navi. And it's like, no, that's not true. It was for the bit.
Oh wow. I found
I'm
it.
reading Alex's note here. Who is a better waifu, Pyramithra or Zelda? I don't think those things are equatable because they're from
They're
two
not.
different franchises.
That's not
You
a
also
fair
didn't
reason.
You also didn't specify which Zelda.
Yeah, you just said Zelda.
Okay, your favorite Zelda.
So Breath of the Wild Zelda?
Twilight Princess Zelda, 100%.
Okay, but think about it though. Pyra and Mithra. Actually, no, I am going to stick with Breath of the
So,
Wild Zelda.
okay,
Yeah.
so you're telling me that a character who has a lot of really, really, really good development and has been prevalent in a series for a very long time isn't as good as a candle with big tits and a light bulb with big tits.
when you put it that way, I mean, Breath of the Wild Zelda is responsible for the mass destruction of Hyrule. So, but I guess Mithra is also the reason that that one place got completely torched.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much.
It's a Torna spoiler. It's not an actual Xenoblade 2 spoiler. You're fine, Alex.
Okay.
But anyway,
Get over it.
Light bulb.
Light bulb go, it's not like I like you or anything. I was watching an anime the other day that literally had Mithra in it.
Wait, like literally
down
or...
to the color scheme. Okay, literally in the sense of it was the same personality. It was the same color scheme of like the green eyes with the blonde hair with the green outfit. Like it was just Mithra, but called something else. And it was hilarious.
Oh.
For those who want to know, because I'm that person who's like, well, what anime you're talking about? It's called, I don't know how to pronounce it. It's like, Surdere Children. It's T-Shur-Der Children. And you can look it up. She looks exactly like Mithra. It's hilarious.
Okay, then.
But that's not Zelda.
I mean, kinda. I can see the resemblance.
Yeah. And then when you get to her personality in the show, she's like, it's not like I like you or anything. Typical tsundere behavior. All games in the series, from The Legend of Zelda on NES to Skyward Sword HD on Switch. Can we talk about how we're not getting a Zelda game this year? Like,
a little
there's
upsetting.
just nothing. Like, we've gotten a Zelda game on Switch every year since Breath of the Wild, and now we get nothing, and I'm kind of sad. I'm kind of disappointed. No Zelda fix.
They thought they could.
You know a game we could have gotten? We could have gotten Twilight Princess
or
HD
Wind Waker
and Wind
HD.
Waker HD.
Or both, you know, Nintendo, if you really want to...
I'd be happy if it was just
for, like...
one.
I know, right? I thought they were going to do it for Christmas and be like, you know...
Give the fans
Take it.
something to look forward to for like one of the most, two of the most beloved Zelda games of all time.
But also to hold people over till Tears of the Kingdom comes out next year. Which begs the question, when did they know... Well, I guess when did they know they were delaying it? Would have been
Okay, but do you know
early
what'd be
this
funny?
year.
What?
What if they
announced it in
released
March.
it? What if they like just soft announced it? Announced a port of Wind Waker in March, because that was the 20-year anniversary of Wind Waker in the U.S.
So you just March, and then 2 months later, new Zelda
Yeah.
game. Brand new, brand spanking new. Do you think there's any chance that they just shadow drop on Twitter Twilight Princess or Wind Waker for December? Because Nintendo currently has nothing for December. Like, once Pokemon comes out, they're done for this year.
That's kind of sad.
And it would give you 5 months between Wind Waker and or Twilight Princess and Tears of the Kingdom. But I mean, I don't know. I just thought I was gonna get a Zelda fix this year, and then I didn't. And I gotta wait till May, which, you know, May can't get here fast enough. Hot diggity dog. Could also go for some Tears of the Kingdom news, would be great. Literally, I'll take anything at this point. Which, using that as a segue, let me talk about my, well, I won't say the bet yet, but I'll bring up the talking point. I think it's pretty safe to say that Tears of the Kingdom will be up for the most anticipated game award at the Game Awards. And I think 2022 is the year it finally wins. Would be nice. Because you can't tell me, looking at the slate of games coming out next year, that Tears of the Kingdom doesn't win. Because PlayStation, as far as I'm aware, doesn't have anything significant coming out in the first half of the year. Neither does Xbox. So, oh no. The way Colin looks means I've missed something massive.
It's got Yakuza Ishin is coming out, which is a very, very looked forward to game, because it came out in 2014. but it hasn't been localized until now, and it's being fully remastered.
I see. So it's either that or Tears of the Kingdom.
Maybe. Who knows? It'll probably
Still
still
feel
be
like
Tears of the Kingdom, but
I would
take the cake.
Yeah, I say Tears of the Kingdom. It's too anticipated.
Which by the time this episode comes out, the nominee list should be out by the time this episode comes out, and we'll know.
Plot twist: Tears of the Kingdom isn't even on that list. That would be such a huge disappointment.
I'd be so disappointed.
Yeah, exactly.
There's no way. It's been on there for the last 2 years. So there's no way it doesn't get on there again. Now, here's what I'll say. Do you guys think new trailer, new news, new anything, if it's there and it wins?
bro, with how sparse they've been on announcements, I'm not expecting it.
I'm going to set myself up for disappointment and say there's going to be something.
I
did this last year and I got nothing.
I don't want to be disappointed, but at the same time, I think I should try and reach for disappointment as well. Yeah, I don't think we're. I want to say we're getting some.
If you always think that you're getting something and you keep not getting anything, when you eventually get something, it feels so much better because you've just been let down so many times. And then when you get it, you're like, oh my gosh, I finally got some news. That'd be great. Which, mark my words, if we get new Tears of the Kingdom news, there'll be a whole episode about it. It'll be another Tears of the Kingdom deep dive, baby. So yeah, I think there'll be something there. Maybe a gameplay trailer or something. I don't think they'll go story heavy, but they would do a gameplay trailer of like, here's how it's going to be different from the game you already sunk 215 hours into. And why you should give us another $60 for the same map. Yep. So I'll put my bet down. It's the same bet I made last year and I lost. If there's no Tears of the Kingdom news whatsoever at the Game Awards, I will not eat Chick-fil-A for the entire month of January.
You're doing that again?
Actually, you know what? I'm feeling bold and I'm feeling confident, which maybe is a mistake, but oh, this is risky, but you know what? It is what it is. If there is no Tears of the Kingdom news of the Game Awards, I will not eat Chick-fil-A until Tears of the Kingdom comes out. I am, and I don't have like any inside sources. I don't know anything. I just feel like 85 million people watched the Game Awards last year, which is more than any Nintendo Direct ever. And it is a very good marketing opportunity to say, hey, next year, early next year, in May, we have a new Zelda game, a brand spanking new Zelda game to 85 plus million people. And here's how it's different from Breath of the Wild. I don't want to get into specifics of what'll be in the trailer, but if there is nothing new Tears of the Kingdom related, I will go without Chick-fil-A until May 12th, 2023, which is a big deal because I love Chick-fil-A.
Damn.
You're really setting yourself up for torture big time, but you're setting yourself up for torture, but you're saving your wallet big time.
True. You got to think about it that way.
And this time, plus you don't have your friends from college pressuring you to go to Chick-fil-A with them.
That's true. The Chick-fil-A is not my only meal option. It just becomes a lot more inconvenient when I want to go out and get food.
The things you crave it more when you know you're not allowed to have it.
Exactly. So that is my bet. I think we're gonna get something, but I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. So yeah. Now, does anyone have anything else they want to say before we rank every single Legend of Zelda game ever? Minus Tears of the Kingdom, because we can't rank that yet.
Who is more of a baddie? Bayonetta or Breath of the Wild Zelda?
Define the term.
Who's
baddie?
I mean, who looks good and tights?
Bayonetta.
Breath Breath of the Wild Zelda. Thank you for coming.
Bayonetta, I say.
Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. I'll be the lone one here.
Well, thanks for watching Nick's TED Talk. He'll be here all week.
Oh, wait. Colin, do you want to tell us your Zelda hot take real quick?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, let's hear it.
Okay. Oh, gosh. I have to explain this again.
Yeah,
So-
again, because we tried to record this episode with Melina, and it was just not a good episode. So we decided to re-record it. It was plagued with technical difficulties left and right. And it's not of our quality standard. So we decided to step back and do it again. And then we lost Melina.
When we were looking at her new setup.
Yeah. You'll have to wait till the next episode. Oh well.
And that sucks.
Or maybe not. I think she's gone next week.
Oh.
So it might just be the three of us again.
Oh God. Oh, that's sad.
Which, if that's the case, I know exactly what we're gonna do if she's gone. But if she's not, I also know what we're gonna do. So it's fine. Anyway, Colin, continue.
All right, so my hot take is that, and who knows, this might get us some hate views, Nick. Ocarina of Time is the worst 3D Zelda, and specifically 3D, not 2D, 3D. The reason I say that is objectively, it is the worst made game, and it did not hold up very well. A lot of the reasons people really like the game are based off of nostalgia. And to be completely honest, if you don't have a lot of that nostalgia, you can still appreciate the game. I don't think the game's awful. Like, it's still very good. However, compared to the other ones, such as Majora's Mask, which came shortly after a lot of the technical difficulties that you have to go through with Majora's Mask is actually a much just smoother game than Ocarina of Time. And one reason I'm just, like, subjectively this is coming from me is just because every single time I go to play Ocarina of Time, I always get super burnt out around the Forest Temple, and I don't know what it is. It's just like I've tried to play that game like over the past 10 years. I'd be like, I want to play Ocarina of Time again, and I would pick it up, and then I'd get to the Forest Temple and I'd be like, I'm done now. I just don't feel like playing anymore. I don't know. I don't know what it is. It's weird. That game can just feel like an unreasonable challenge sometimes. And I did Master Quest last year, and it was hell. Like, it was actually hell for me, and it honestly just kind of burned the game for me. But it also really did point out a lot of the technical flaws that were in the game, which just made me not like it as much as other Zelda games. But that's my hot take. And by other Zelda games, I mean other 3D Zelda games. I still think it's much better than, some of the 2D Zelda games and some of the top-down Zelda games. It's better than the CDI ones, I can tell you that. I just think it's very overrated when it comes to a lot of people's picks. So, that's my hot take.
Like,
I
any
would
Zelda
agree.
game is better than the CDI Zelda games.
This is true.
Yeah. I would agree to an extent, because especially when you bring up, like, nostalgia is such a big driver for people when they rank games, and there's nothing wrong with that. That is, like, the enjoyment of video games is meant to be super subjective. And when you say, like, a lot of people's enjoyment of the games are driven by nostalgia, yeah. For me, the only reason Ocarina of Time ranks so high is because that was, like, the first Zelda game I ever really got into, because I played it on the 3DS. I played it multiple times on the 3DS. But then when I do take a step back and look at it more objectively, then it is a little harder to justify it being so good. And I would agree. I think it is a little overrated in the sense that it was the first 3D Zelda game. So you kind of, like, it gets points for that, and, oh, well, it split the timeline, so it's super important to the timeline, so it gets points for that. And then there's all this other stuff that just, I don't know, kind of artificially puts it up there. if you think Ocarina of Time is the worst 3D, what do you think the best 3D Zelda game is?
I would say Breath of the Wild is up there just because of how innovative it is to the series.
Fair.
I would also, to a point, say Majora's Mask. I think it's very good. Its story is very well made and very well written. And like I said, after you really get over a lot of the technical humps that you have to get over when you get into Majora's Mask, I think it's a very just solid game. You know, a lot of people would probably think I'd say Twilight Princess because it's my favorite, but I have to agree that Twilight Princess has a huge amount of issues that really can't go overlooked, and the same goes for a lot of the 3D Zeldas, but I think, in my opinion, Ocarina of Time has the most. Skyward Sword had a glaring issue in gameplay, but also because of HD, a lot of the issues got fixed, so therefore it is a much more enjoyable game. Yeah. It's a much more enjoyable game when you are able to control the game well and get to experience the story, because the story of that game is beautiful.
It is. It's a really great story.
But I would say, honestly, I would say it's a tie, in my opinion, between probably Wind Waker and Breath of the Wild, because don't get me wrong, I love Wind Waker. I think Wind Waker and Breath of the Wild are some of the most innovative games there, just because they really took a lot of the old formula and kind of flipped it on its head with, having a Zelda game in the sea, but also having a Zelda game that is so vast that it takes hours to just explore. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Yeah.
Alex, do you have anything you want to add?
I'm not that fond of Majora's Mask, but I guess that's because I'm a very slow-paced person. When I just start a new game, I'm very slow-paced, and I have no idea where I'm going. I try my best to avoid walkthroughs and stuff.
Yeah, same here.
I want to go play the game, but not be on like a time limit. But
yeah, that makes sense.
If I'm able to get through Majora's Mask, and get the stuff done easily, I get through the stuff without having the moon crash. Maybe then I'll like it more, and then be able to play it without walkthroughs and actually know where to go. So when I get that done, if I do go through that, it'll probably be like one of my top Zelda games. But as right now, it's very low for me just because of that, and I have not continued it since.
Understandable. Yeah, Ocarina of Time, it's a good game, but it's not the best, I think, is the general consensus, and I think that's okay. It's okay for Ocarina of Time to not be the top, and it's also okay for people to say Breath of the Wild is the top, even though it's the most recent, because let's face it, Breath of the Wild did a lot for Zelda. Not just in terms of, it's like the highest selling Zelda game of all time by a long shot, but also just in how they shaped up the gameplay and the story and the combat, like having weapons that break, having, it's not a super new thing, but having different clothing sets that give you different stat boosts or different abilities, like
the Phantom
it's
armor.
Okay. Yeah, it's okay for the newest game to be the best one, because that's kind of honestly how it should be. It should always be improving and always getting better. It shouldn't be, the game they made 20 years ago is actually the best one they peaked 20 years ago, and everything else has just kind of been a letdown.
Sparkster didn't do that well when they were making, a great like new series, but then they released a sequel that were terrible.
Yeah. So that's what I have to say on that. And now, if that's all everyone has to say, we can rank some Zelda games, hopefully more objectively.
Here's my hot take. Zelda 2: The Adventure Link is the best 2D side scroll in Zelda game.
Isn't it the only 2D side
There's only
Zelda
two,
game?
or only like 3 or 4.
I know. I was making a funny, terribly funny joke. Like, wait a minute, it's the only official 2D side-scrolling Zelda game.
Exactly.
But out of every side-scrolling Zelda game, Zelda 2: The Adventure, like, despite like how mediocre it is, it's still the best one because the only other ones are CDI.
Yeah. Going back briefly to Breath of the Wild for a second, I will say there all obviously can be some recency bias when it comes to Breath of the Wild because it's the most recent Zelda game. However, there's also another thing you have to take into account is that to a point, even Breath of the Wild is fairly overrated. I feel a lot of people kind of a lot of what it was good for was very overblown. I think it had a lot of issues, and like obviously on the Switch version there was a huge issue with frame rate, which was never really present in other Zelda games because they had a locked frame rate and they were able to handle what they had, the systems were able to handle the games themselves at whatever they needed to. With the Switch, it was very experimental, so it was hard for them to actually handle a game that big and keeping it at 30 to I think it was, what was it, 30 to 24 FPS,
something like that.
24
but you
FPS
also have to remember
game.
Breath of the Wild is a Wii U game that got ported to Switch.
Yeah.
It was originally intended to release on the Wii U, and then Nintendo was like, well, we've already delayed it to 2016, so who's to say we don't just bump it like 6 more months? Maybe, if it was going to come out in November, bump it 4 or 5 more months, and then it'll come out with our new console. It'll be on both. Which I low-key sometimes forget that Breath of the Wild is on the Wii U. So when I'm in GameStop and I see like the used copies of Breath of the Wild, I'm like, oh,
that was what I originally played it
Wii U
on.
game.
Yeah,
me too.
I have a friend.
The Switch was so rare.
I have a friend who only played it on the Wii U. He didn't see a point in the Switch, and I didn't get it for Wii U because I was thinking to myself, if I'm gonna get it, I want to feel like I want to replay because eventually my Wii U is going to get unplugged. I want to continue playing this game. So I kept it. So I waited till I got a Switch in order to play Breath of the Wild. And I'm glad I did that.
Honestly, I dumped 100 hours into it on my uncle's Wii U. And then when I got a Switch, Breath of the Wild was the first game that I bought. Like, I'd already played it. I could have bought Odyssey. I could have bought literally anything else. But I bought Breath of the Wild because that's what I wanted.
Yeah.
And to this day, I've sunk another 400 hours into it. And honestly, I'll probably get more as we get closer to Tears of the Kingdom because I want to do a 3-heart master mode run. So, but yeah, I see what you're saying about Breath of the Wild. And I think the real test will be if Tears of the Kingdom improves on the formula or if Breath of the Wild retains its spot as one of the best.
Yeah. There was something I was going to bring up about Breath of the Wild. There we go. It was, Breath of the Wild as well very much redefined the open world genre. For better or for
so many Breath
worse.
of the Wild clones.
Which is a thing I actually have been thinking about just making a video on is just about, how Breath of the Wild has affected the open world genre and how the open world genre itself has just been becoming very oversaturated. And it feels like a lot of the games that are coming out that are super open world and stuff like that just aren't really genuine. And it's like, well, they saw Breath of the Wild did so well, so what they did was they just copied it, made it open world, and slapped their own IP onto it. And that was the biggest issue. And that's, I think, one reason, though, why Elden Ring did super well was because they took the time to make it their own and to take their own style on the approach to open world. which is why I believe Elden Ring was just overall a better game compared to Breath of the Wild. I think it, gameplay wise, sure, it can be hard and it can be hard to get into, but once you get past that difficulty spike going from Breath of the Wild to Elden Ring, it is a phenomenal game.
It looks
and I would recommend.
phenomenal.
It's a beautiful game. It's like one of the best games I've ever played. And it's probably my favorite open world game, to be honest. But it's like, I think those two games are really the main, standpoints that people need to look to, but also the fact of what went into them. Because if they are able to put all that time into making what they want to make instead of just making what's going to make them the most money, it's going to pay off. And that has been my biggest issue. Is it's just, I feel a lot of games are trying to make their own Breath of the Wild, but the biggest issue is they're not trying to make their own Breath of the Wild by completely innovating the series and doing something completely different. But what they're trying to do is they're just trying to do what Breath of the Wild did and make it their own. And that's, I think, the biggest issue.
Yeah,
That's fair.
I would agree 100%.
Once again,
Especially with something like Sonic Frontiers,
Yeah.
which just came out. And I can't say much on it because I haven't played it. And I know the director, like Sega, came out and said, well, Sonic Frontiers actually is not based on Breath of the Wild, actually. It's its own thing. And I'm like, okay, you can say that. But to Colyn's point, it feels like a majority of the games we've been getting recently from at least major IPs have been like, oh, we're going to do open world. Like Pokemon Legends Arceus. They came out at the beginning of the year. First open world Pokemon game. So, and even inside Nintendo, it feels like they're, oh, Breath of the Wild worked? Okay, let's just do that again and it'll print money for us, which, you gotta actually put the legwork in to make it good.
Here's the thing. Here's the
go
thing.
ahead.
Miyamoto has been a person that hated trends. He even specified, like, around like the N64, why he's not focused on online gameplay. He said it's because he hates trends. And I can understand that. Trends become toxic and they could possibly ruin your franchise because you possibly can't do it right.
Yeah.
I mean, but honestly, to that point, sometimes Miyamoto himself is the person who sets a lot of those trends.
Exactly.
Which
means he's not following the trend because he's the one making it.
But now his reason for not wanting to follow trends is showing. Because a lot of these open world games that pretty much followed like Breath of the Wild, was open world, like that trend is showing.
Take Genshin Impact, for example. They were very open, or the developers of that were very open with the fact that they took a lot of inspiration from Breath of the Wild. And for a while, it was just...
Same with From Software. They said that a lot of their inspiration came from Breath of the Wild when they made Elden Ring.
When I first saw like Genshin Impact, a friend, she told me to like check it out because she knew how much I love anime, and I took a look at it, I'm like, this looks very similar to Breath of the Wild.
It is like just anime Breath of the Wild.
The sprinting
is what it is.
The sprinting, the glider, the stamina, the health, the goddess statue.
Yeah, it was regarded as the Breath of the Wild clone for a while, and then it kind of now it's more of its own thing. But at the very beginning, it was just the Breath of the Wild clone.
Yeah, and that doesn't make it a bad game at all. It's just too obvious.
And I mean,
I think also what doesn't help the open world trend is that when the Switch launched in 2017, there were two massive franchises, arguably Nintendo's two biggest franchises, both got new open world games in the same year, in Breath of the Wild and Mario Odyssey, and those games both did incredibly well.
Definitely.
And seeing, like, it would be one thing if it was, okay, Breath of the Wild did well, Zelda did well, but Mario also doing really well? Not that Mario doing well is a foreign concept, but just the fact that both of these games came out in the same year on the same console, and they did phenomenally well, and they are still like two of the highest selling games on Switch to this day.
Funny thing.
And that does not help the open world trend at all.
Funny thing. It was my sophomore year of high school. I think it was my sophomore year. Yeah, because I was taking that's the year I took a foreign language class. We had technically like a day off from the class and just to like have fun, because it was like some sort of French celebration because I took a French class. I brought my Switch, and all I did was just play Mario Odyssey, collecting moons. And
yeah, I mean, hey, it's an easy game to do that with.
And then after sometime after, I think it was after that class, I went back on. It was a different class, and I hopped back on my Switch and played Fortnite using my school's Wi-Fi.
Let's go.
And I used my school. I think it was either my school's Wi-Fi or my phone's cellular data. I think it was my cellular data because the connection was awful. But I was still able to find.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't know any school Wi-Fi that could run Fortnite. Cringe, am I right?
No, it's because that's also a reason I believe I was either on school Wi-Fi or my cellular data. But in that classroom had horrible service.
I believe it. It's a school. What do you expect?
My cellular data.
But
was
yeah,
just
I think
terrible.
it'll be very interesting to see where Tears of the Kingdom fits in all of this, especially since it's reusing the same map from Breath of the Wild. I know there's a lot of speculation of, well, obviously we know we're going to the sky, but there's a lot of speculation of, are we going to go underground? Are they going to like have this 3-level thing that makes it more like makes it a lot more different? I hope they do, because the last thing I want is to have Tears of the Kingdom be my most anticipated game for the last 6 years, only for it to not be better, as good as, or better than Breath of the Wild.
How disappointing.
That would feel like a massive disappointment.
How disappointed would you be though in the whole franchise if it's worse than Zelda 2?
If that were the case, something went wrong at a developmental level. It would have to be bad to be worse than Zelda 2.
Colin, what do you think? How much faith would you lose in the whole franchise if Tears of the Kingdom is worse than Zelda 2?
I don't think I'd lose much faith in the actual company. It would just be they had a bad game.
Okay, so you're pretty optimistic about future
games. They have
games.
done that before.
Yeah.
I think there's a very strong future for Zelda, because Breath of the Wild brought in a lot more people. Like Breath of the Wild, I think their numbers just got updated today.
That's a game.
It's at 27 point something million copies now.
That's the game That's the game that got me into the franchise. Honestly, when I heard about that game, I haven't played yet. When I first got into it, because the Switch was still very difficult to find, and I didn't want to play it on the Wii U. I want to play it on Switch.
Well, that was a lot of people's story, is they had never really given Zelda much thought, and then Breath of the Wild came out, and they're like, oh my gosh, I actually really love this franchise, which is why porting old games to the Switch is so beneficial, because now you can get a lot of money off these people who would be interested in trying other Zelda games.
Yeah, 27.14 million copies of Breath of the Wild sold.
And if I'm not mistaken, the last highest selling Zelda game was like 7 million. Like, it didn't break 10. Maybe it did. I don't know.
That's really impressive.
Yeah, to go from 7 million to 27 million, an extra 20 million copies. Yeah. So, Zelda has a very bright future ahead, in terms of that. But let's not look ahead. But alas, let us look.
Okay.
To the past.
Stupid idea.
A link to the past, if you will.
Stupid idea. A Zelda MMORPG.
Okay, I don't call that stupid. It could work. It could work, but it would be weird.
That's why I say it's a stupid idea, because like it would probably get mixed feelings. but then it'd probably be great gameplay, like with Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic.
Bro, you know it would get amazing sales?
What?
A Zelda gacha game.
A Zelda mobile game? Too? I thought they were working on a Zelda mobile game. Maybe they weren't. I could have sworn they said somewhere they were working on a Zelda mobile game and it never came out.
What kind of mobile game could Zelda have?
I already said a gacha
It'd be
game,
some
bro.
kind of... Yeah, there's that. Or it could be some kind of like dungeon crawler type mobile game. Kind of like how Mario Run was just a 2D Mario game, but on your phone. And the levels were a lot shorter.
I honestly think that it wouldn't do well. Because on phone games, people lose interest easily.
I don't know. The Fire Emblem phone game is like their highest grossing mobile game.
Fire Emblem Heroes
and Fire Emblem is way smaller than Zelda.
I am just hearing about this game now.
Do you live under a rock?
On mobile games, yes.
But you heard about Genshin?
Have you ever heard of Angry Birds?
Okay, I didn't know about Genshin until a friend told me.
Do you live under a rock?
Fair.
For certain things, yes, I do live under a rock.
I believe it. So yeah, Zelda game ranking. After our super deep philosophical talk about the shape of the industry and open world games as a whole,
Yes.
I'm gonna impose this rule, and I think you guys would agree. Since there's 3 of us, we don't have to worry about there being an even number of votes, which does make it a little easier. But
hold on, actually,
I think for any
before you do that, I'll be right back. Nick, plug the socials again.
Okay. While we I was gonna play Dating Start from Undertale to do a full Alpha Red reference. So just pretend you're listening to that song right now. While we wait for Colin to come back, I'm gonna take this second to give a word from our sponsor, the Joystick Drift Podcast. It's a premier Nintendo podcast that drops new episodes every Wednesday at 10:15 a.m. Central Time. That's 11:15 a.m. Eastern Time, or 9:15 a.m. Pacific Time, because Pacific Time doesn't do daylight savings, which is weird. So now they're an hour closer. But I mean, I was gonna do the full sponsor bit, but you know, if you made it this far in the episode, you're probably invested. So you're probably already like gonna watch our other videos and all that. I will take a second to give a little behind the scenes here, because I'm working on a video which hopefully will be out by the time this episode comes out, or it will be like a couple days away from coming out, actually, I think, because this episode comes out on the 23rd. But I am working on 8 must-have accessories for your Nintendo Switch. Just kind of talking about accessories I have for my Switch, and what I think is super helpful, what I find really useful and great, and I would love to share with other people. So I'm really excited to work on that video and put it out, because it actually, requires me to use my camera and like to actually film different shots and set up the camera. And it's not just setting up the camera right here in front of me and talking into the camera and then being like, okay, well, let me intersplice some game footage over that. Like, I actually have to take my camera and film. Like, the Satisfy grip is going to be one of the things on there. So I have to actually, set up my camera over my shoulder to show me playing with the Satisfy grip, and then put it on a rotating table and do like a rotating shot. And like, so there's all this stuff that I'm looking forward to doing for that video, because I also feel like it's going to push me as a creative person to actually commit and do those things and find the best way to light it and set it up and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, that's, I guess, this episode is sponsored.
I mean, hey,
by that video.
What you could do is like, especially for the spinning table, get all the shots of the spinning table you need done right away. Because that's the power of editing, people.
Exactly. We don't have to film everything in order anymore. That it's almost like that's what they taught us in film school is get all your shots in one place out of the way and then move on to the next thing.
And that's a sad thing. One of my short films that one of my friends wrote, like a Christmas short film, we did everything in order.
But why? Ugh.
I mean, it kind of worked out in the end.
That just sounds like a pain.
I mean, it kind of worked out in the end, because in the beginning the sun was up. It looked like it was afternoon, but when we were when at the end it looked like the sun was setting, which was perfect.
Yeah.
Then again, I didn't know much.
Colin, welcome back. This episode of the Joystick Drift podcast was sponsored by
an
the
episode
video
of
that goes out 2 days from now.
Yeah,
So-
sorry, I had to desperately get water.
Understandable. I feel that. So, Zelda tier list. And I'm going to impose this rule that in order for any game to make it to S or double S tier, we all three have to unanimously agree that the game is an S tier.
Okay.
Is that fair?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So, these aren't in terrible order. They're not in release order because when I clicked the link to open the tier list, it still had our ranking from when we tried to record this episode last time.
Epic.
So they're not in order anymore. I tried to order them as best I could, and I saved the CDI games for last, as you do.
We didn't get to those during the fail, did we?
No, because it crashed like halfway through the tier list, and everything just kind of died. So
that episode was a pain.
First up, I will start with the original Legend of Zelda, where I'm thinking B tier, or maybe an A.
Yeah,
I give it
fine.
an A.
A.
Yeah. Like
Okay.
it may
I can settle for A.
not just for nostalgia reasons, but like.
Was also technically an open world Zelda game, if you really think about it.
But I think for like an action adventure game, it did things. It was like it was like the best action adventure game at that time. Cause the first one, Adventure, and I'm sorry if I make anyone throw up by saying this.
Hide-Lied?
Huh?
I said Hide-Lied?
Yes. Hide-Lied was an action adventure game. A guy with a sword goes to save the princess from a beast. It was a terrible game. It's a terrible franchise.
Wait.
Oh,
sorry. I have to balance zooming in and being able to see the whole tier list, so I couldn't read.
But yeah, Hide-Lied
nice.
was terrible. Zelda did it right. The original Legend of Zelda did it right.
Just making sure, Nick, you're going to have this on screen, right?
No. I never have tier lists on screen. That would require me to screen record my browser. And I don't know how to do that yet.
I love how
I'm working on it, though. I'm working on it because I'm going to do... Which, spoiler alert. I know this video won't be out yet. I'm going to do a tier list ranking of every Xenoblade Chronicles 3 character. So I'm going to learn how to record my browser for that.
Nick, hey, Nick. Why don't
What?
you do this? Why don't you record it in post? And then you match it up with our ranking.
I don't think that's going to
Because
work.
doing this tier list, and you can cut this out if you want, doing this tier list and it not being on screen is going to look awful.
It's really not. I've done it multiple times with the Nerdiest podcast,
Really?
and it looks fine.
I don't know how to feel about it.
I also don't know how to reformat the screen because the video will look the same.
I mean, you could
You'd have to set up a whole nother OBS thing, reshaping the way our camera or the way our videos are lined up to then put the tier list on screen.
I just think
It'll
it
be
would
fine.
look better if we had it on screen. But
all I want to say
Well,
is
no, I agree.
all I want to say is I love how Colin knew what game I was talking about when I said, I'm sorry if I make anyone throw up.
Oh, God. Oh, no. I switched to presentation mode. No! Please go back. Please go back. Please go back. No! Frick! I went to presentation mode and it jumbled up all my games again.
Uh-oh.
Dang it.
Alrighty, well, next up on the ranking list, The Legend of Zelda 4 Swords Adventures.
Oh. Yeah.
haven't
Never played it.
Never played. Colin, if you've never played it?
No, I've never played it.
Okay, if a majority haven't played it, then we can't rank it. Is that... All right, Link's Awakening, the original one for the Game Boy.
I'd put it
Where do
in
we want
A.
to put that?
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
I give it an A
I never
because
played the
it
Game
was
Boy
a
one.
good experiment for like, wasn't it like a good experiment for like not always holding a sword?
Yeah. At least from what I know about the Switch version. In the same vein, Link's Awakening for the Switch. Have either of you played it?
No,
I haven't played it.
I have not played the Switch version.
Okay, then I will put it in haven't played. I played it, but majority.
Can we at least where you would rank
Oracle of Ages. Where would I rank it?
Yeah, we all
I
deserve
haven't
to know.
finished it yet, but I would say B tier.
it? Okay.
It's fun, but it's kind of, I don't know. It might just be the Switch version. It might not be the core game itself.
The viewers need to know the opinion of at least one person.
I do plan on finishing it before Tears of the Kingdom comes out, and I'll probably do a short video review on the channel. Because you can get the clickbait thumbnail, the Zelda game I've never played, and then put a big question mark over the case so no one knows in the thumbnail, and it's super easy. Oracle of Ages and Oracle of Seasons, they're just put as one. So you gotta rank them
Say
together.
B tier.
I've never
I say
played
B tier.
B tier.
I actually own
that
Oracle
is
of
not.
Ages on the 3DS.
I own, yeah,
Really?
same, actually.
Yeah. I did see justice of getting the Game Boy Color version. Because the main issue with the Game Boy Color, no backlit screen, and I don't have lighting set up to behind me on my bed. And I do not want to play a Game Boy Color game in my chair.
That's fair. Next one is Phantom Hourglass. I've never played it either. Haven't played it.
I've played it for like 40 minutes.
I did not like that game.
I've heard it's okay.
Well, if you played it for 40 minutes, you still played it, so you can rank it.
I put it in C.
C.
I think I
What
didn't
about
like
you,
it because I was younger. If I gave another chance, I would probably put in C. Because I did not know anything about these games where you had to actually use your brain to adventure around. All I knew from using my brain for was knowing, okay, type advantage. Fire beats grass type. That's all I knew.
Pokemon nerd. Okay. This tier list is weird. The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past for Game Boy Advance, featuring 4 swords.
Oh God. I haven't played the Game Boy Advance version.
Neither have I.
It's the same game.
Yeah.
It really is. It's the same game, just different times over. Ocarina of Time Master Quest.
Shadow Realm.
Never played it.
Shadow Realm.
I'll
I'd
put it
say
in Shadow Realm
C.
just for Colin.
I say C because I hate when I play so
Cows.
much of a world of a game and to play a harder version to have the world
Cows.
flipped.
Cows.
Yeah.
I say C.
I'm gonna say Shadow Realm.
Cows.
I'll vote Shadow Realm with Colin, just for funsies. Link's Awakening DX.
It's the same thing as the Game Boy.
It's just Link's Awakening, but it's DX.
Yeah,
it's
that
on
it just
here.
gives a color.
Do we want to just put it in A with Link's Awakening since it's the same game?
Yes, just do that. All it is
color
is
make
just
it better.
all it is just optimized to have color. I believe that's
All right.
the case anyway. Because what else would
okay.
what else would be different besides color?
One of these is Twilight Princess, and the other one is the hard version of Twilight Princess.
The Wii version?
But they look exactly the same.
Why couldn't this be released in chronological order?
Nick, send me a picture of it.
Well, it's the poster with Link and Wolf Link, but it's got the Triforce logo in the middle, but one is blacked out and the other one is gold.
Send this.
So I'm assuming it's
Send me
like,
a picture. Send me a picture.
Yeah, send it in the
Hold
group.
on. I'll send you a Snapchat of it.
Okay, no, okay, so
on.
I don't get to see it. Fine.
No, because then I'd have to open Discord on my phone, and that's too much work.
Well, at least send it to me. You have me on Snap.
Jeez, that's blurry as heck. Let me find you on. Where are you, Alex? I know I have you on here. There you are.
Leaving me out of seeing this.
I'm guessing that's GameCube and Wii. Because, hold on.
That would be my guess. Either that, or since Master Quest is on here, it would be whatever
Master Quest wasn't in the original. So, I don't know.
We could just rank one of them and call it a day for Twilight Princess.
Why am I seeing trash in this picture?
But what do you see? Link's crossbow training? Actually, no. Link's crossbow training is a double S. But we'll get there.
Zelda's Adventure.
Twilight Princess. I'm gonna assume S tier.
I say S tier.
If I had to guess.
So,
I love the art in that game.
What? Yeah.
I mean, we all know.
So, Nick, what I'm seeing is the gold one is what is it? The gold one is Wii, and then the like monochromatic one is GameCube.
Okay. Well, I'll just put the GameCube one in haven't played, and we'll rank one of them because we don't need to rank the same game twice.
I've played both. I can say GameCube's better.
GameCube would
Oh,
definitely
really?
be better.
Yeah, GameCube's 100% better
What?
than Wii.
Yeah.
Dang, I mean, I've never played either of them, so
I would still put Twilight Princess in S, though.
both of them in S?
Yeah, I say
yeah.
Twilight Princess is S tier.
Okay. Link's crossbow training.
Double S. Double S.
S.
Double S.
Double
S tier.
S.
Double S. Easy. Best Zelda game of all time.
Is it just me or did Colin freeze?
Yeah, my camera's being a little weird.
Uh-oh.
We were doing so well when it came to technical stuff.
Did it die?
Now we're just waiting.
I don't think it died.
If it died, I'll make him Shoppo again.
That's the perfect frame, though. That's the perfect frame.
Yeah, maybe I can just capture that, and I'll just leave that as the frame. Oh, EOS webcam utility, my favorite. Okay, we're back. Colin is an image now, because his camera decided to act up because we can't go one episode without technical difficulties. So we're gonna go on a little bit of a sprint. We're gonna go on a little bit of a stint here. Hyrule Warriors, just Hyrule Warriors.
Does the definitive edition count or only the Wii U version?
No, the definitive edition is separate.
I say
This is just
A.
the Wii U version.
I say A.
A?
Yeah.
Yikes.
I
I'd
loved
say
it.
B.
I mean, I loved the game. Controls were great. It has my favorite Zelda.
I'll say B because I think definitive edition is better, but we'll get there. Hyrule Warriors Legends for the Nintendo 3DS. New Nintendo 3DS, correct. D tier because it ran like trash.
Yeah, D tier. It didn't look good at all.
It ran like 2 FPS consistently.
I don't know why they thought
right.
a 3DS version was a good idea.
Now, Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition.
S tier.
I will say A tier.
S tier for me.
I guess.
S tier?
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you say, Colin?
I said yeah, S tier. That's fine.
All right. Finally, something
Uh,
me and Colin can agree on without Nick being in agreement.
Okay, but hold on. I have to agree to S tier before I. And I haven't finished. Okay, I'll take your word for it and say S tier.
Okay, never mind.
Oh, this one, I want to put in S tier, but I know we won't get the third vote from Colin. Hyrule Warriors: Age of Calamity.
I'm not giving it
I would
S.
vote A.
B tier.
A tier, yeah. I'm not giving it S.
B
A
tier.
tier. Outvoted.
B tier. Bad story. That's what it stands for.
For bad story.
Exactly.
All right. Next up is Wind Waker for the
Double S.
GameCube.
Double S.
Double S?
Yeah, double S. It's just
I never played it, so I don't
too much of
count,
a
so
it's too much
double
of a
S it
great
is.
game.
Wind Waker for Wii U, the HD version.
Double S.
Double
again.
S.
Double S. Okay.
Literally took what was good about it, made it better.
Spirit Tracks, the choo-choo game.
Trains.
Shadow
train
Realm.
tier.
Trains.
Make a trains tier. No, don't put that.
Shadow.
Don't put it. Don't put it in
Shadow
Realm.
Realm?
I
Put it
did
in
not like
C.
that game at all.
Put it in C. C or B.
See, I haven't played it.
Fine, I won't put it in the Shadow Realm, but I'm giving it a D tier.
D tier. I'll put it in C because that's between B and D tier.
I still disagree.
Nick's camera.
Skyward Sword for the Wii. Uh-oh, now my camera's dying. Oh boy.
Terrible motion.
Maybe I'll also become a Zelda.
Terrible motion controls. So
I'll say B tier.
I
for
say
bad
C
controls.
tier.
Because the story was still good in
No,
Skyward Sword,
no, as a matter
but
of
it was
fact,
just the controls.
I give it B tier because it came with the soundtrack.
True. Colin, where do you put Skyward Sword for the Wii?
B tier.
Okay, do we all say B tier? All right, Skyward Sword for the Switch. I say S tier.
Double S for Skyward Sword.
S.
Ooh, double S for Skyward Sword.
Was that an intentional
I
pun?
think I gotta agree.
That was yes.
Oh, fine. I say
I
double.
gotta go double S.
Double S, yeah.
All right,
it fixed a
my
major-
personal favorite.
It fixed a major problem. I'm just disappointed that there's not even a soundtrack even on Spotify.
My personal favorite Zelda game, Triforce Heroes. Shadow Realm?
Did you just say it's your favorite?
It was a joke. It is definitely not my favorite.
I was about to hit you over the head with a water bottle.
Please don't.
Shadow Realm.
Shadow Realm?
You know what? I'm not hitting you over. If
Easy
you're being
Shadow
serious, I would have returned your Christmas gift for me.
Okay. We're back.
Man, that
I
was
just
a
swapped my camera
long 2
battery out.
seconds.
So it's fine.
More like 2 hours.
Zelda 2, The Adventure of Link. Where do you want to put it? I know Alex likes that one.
I do like it.
But where would you rank it?
Honestly,
I would rank it in haven't played.
I honestly, even though I like it, I say B tier. It's not as good as the original Legend of Zelda, but I still like it.
B tier?
Yeah, B tier for me.
All right, Colin, what do you think?
For
Zelda 2, The
What
Adventure
game?
of Link.
I put it in B or C.
Okay, B tier it is.
I thought you were about to banish it to
Now.
the Shadow Realm.
Nope.
A Link to the Past.
The Super Nintendo,
Yeah.
double S.
I
Yeah.
did play that one. I
I'd
could
agree.
say S tier. I'm going to put it in S because that's where it belongs. Cadence of Hyrule. Solid A tier.
Yeah.
Never
I would
played.
say so. It's really good.
Solid A tier. Banger soundtrack. Ocarina of Time for the N64. I'm going to
S
say
tier.
B tier.
I say B tier.
Yeah, let's go. Ocarina of Time for the 3DS. S tier.
Yeah, S tier.
There we go. That's correct. Thank you very much. Majora's Mask for the N64.
A tier.
S tier.
A tier. I'll go A tier. I haven't actually played it. Majora's Mask for the 3DS. I would say A tier.
Never played the 3DS version. I've only played the N64.
S tier as well.
All right, A tier it is. All right, Four Swords Anniversary Edition. I've never played it.
Never played.
I've never played it.
All right, Minish Cap. Also
Never played.
that one.
I give it an A tier.
Dang,
It's really
dropping
good.
like flies. A Link Between Worlds. A tier.
Yeah,
A
I'd say
tier.
A tier.
Great game. Twilight Princess HD.
S tier.
S tier.
S tier. I could get behind that. All right. The big one before we get to the other big ones. Breath of the Wild. Double S tier.
Double S.
Yeah.
Nice. Double S. All right. So, let me. Can I zoom in, please? That'd be great. Okay. Now, Tingle's Rosy Rupee Land. I say double S tier.
Never played it.
Really make the Zelda fans mad. Double S tier. I've never played it, but I really want to put it in double S tier just to make the Zelda fans mad.
What is it called?
Tingle's Rosy Rupee Land. There's also Tingle's Balloon Fight, and then there's one that's in all Japanese, and I can't even read the title. 'cause I
Tetris
don't speak
Trackers.
Japanese. Is that what it is?
Probably.
I think all the Tingle games should go in double S tier
No, make a Tingle tier.
because it's Tingle.
Make a Tingle tier.
Tingle.
God, this guy's hideous.
Okay, I got you. Add row below. We'll make it. No, why would you change the color of that one? Change the color of the one I was editing.
Hold on, what
Great,
is this?
now I've messed up the color.
Hold on, what is this, GameStop? I can get Tears of the King. I can buy Tears of the Kingdom right away.
Yes, you can pre-order it. All right, make it green.
No, I'm
then
laughing about
name
the
it-
fact that it's just the logo. You're buying the logo for full price.
Tingle. Oopsies.
I know about the pre-orders, but I'm
Tingle.
like, wait a minute, I could buy the logo?
Tier. All right, we have Tingle tier, and it's actually listed above double S tier. Whoa, that's crazy. It's been here the whole time, and there's 3 games in it. Whoa, that's crazy. The best Zelda games of all time.
No
honestly,
arguments
if
need
I had
to
to
be
speak
made.
honestly. All right, all 3 CDI games.
Shadow Realm.
Shadow Realm. Easy Shadow Realm.
I don't need to play them to
Personally
know how
speaking.
terrible they are.
Mhm.
I've seen the
Mhm.
gameplay.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what kind of game?
Shadow Realm, bam.
What kind of game only uses 2 of the buttons? One for attack, and
The CDI games.
and the second button for literally everything else besides jump.
The CDI games, apparently. All right. Let me blaze through this list from bottom to top. In haven't played, we have Four Swords Adventures, Link's Awakening on the Switch, A Link to the Past for the Game Boy Advance, Four Swords Anniversary Edition, and the Minish Cap. In Shadow Realm, we have Ocarina of Time Master Quest, Triforce Heroes, Link something something Evil, Zelda something something blank, and Zelda's Adventure, the CDI games. In D tier, the only game in D tier is Hyrule Warriors Legends for the Nintendo 3DS. In C tier, we have Phantom Hourglass and Spirit Tracks. Wow, RIP the DS Zelda games. In B tier, we have The Legend of Zelda, Oracle of Seasons and Oracle of Ages, Hyrule Warriors, The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword for the Wii, The Adventure of Link, Zelda 2, I said that wrong, and Ocarina of Time for the Nintendo 64. In A tier, we have The Legend of Zelda, The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening, The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening DX, Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity, Cadence of Hyrule, The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask, The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask 3D, and The Legend of Zelda A Link Between Worlds. In S tier, we have The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess for the GameCube and The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess for the Wii, Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition, The Legend of Zelda A Link to the Past, The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time 3D, and The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess HD. In double S tier, we have Link's Crossbow Training, The Legend of Zelda The Wind Waker, The Legend of Zelda The Wind Waker HD, The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword HD, and The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. And last but not least, in Tingle tier, we have Tingle's Rosy Rupee Land, Tingle's Balloon Fight, and Tingle's title is in Japanese. And Colin said the name properly, and I didn't. I think that is the most I have ever said Zelda in the span of like a minute.
Congratulations.
I don't think I'm ever going to say it again. I think I'm never going to say the Z word again. I think I'm done. So that's our official Zelda ranking, and we will completely re-rank every single game on this list when Tears of the Kingdom comes out. Like, we'll just start over. Just do it all over again.
On the day
Tears
it
of the
comes out?
Kingdom, no, not on the day it comes out, because none of us will have played it. Unless, Nintendo, you want to send us a review copy. I mean, we did drop multiple swears this episode that is not family friendly, but if you ever want to partner with a not family friendly just to expand your brand, we're always here. Our email is always open. Our Instagram DMs are always open at Joystick Drift Pod.
Call us.
And our comment section is always open. So I'm just saying. With that, I think that's going to bring Joystick Drift episode 9 to a close. Yeah, that was our Zelda episode. Probably going to end up being titled Ranking Every Zelda Game, even though we didn't do that till the very end. I'll think of something. So yeah, that's all. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining me tonight, even though Colin eventually just turned into something. God knows what.
Turn
I don't know what editing
probably
me,
a goat.
I don't know what editing me did yet. We'll find out.
Goat.
So yeah. With that being said, thank you everybody for watching and listening. You can watch the video version of this podcast on YouTube at the Joystick Drift Podcast. If you're watching there, subscribe, hit the notification bell. We're doing all kinds of cool content, which you heard me talk about in the sponsor bit towards the middle. If you're listening on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, you can leave a 5-star review, and you can actually leave a rating on Apple Podcasts, and we will read them on the show if you write them in. And feel free to leave a comment if you're watching on YouTube, and just tell us, what's your favorite Zelda game? What do you agree with our ranking? Who do you think the most attractive Zelda is? Do you think, how many watermelons do you think Twilight Princess Zelda could crush with her thighs? Let us know all the important questions, all the important answers to all the important questions in the comments down below. I've been me. These gentlemen have been these gentlemen. And we'll see you guys in the next episode, next week, same time. Peace.
And I'm a goat.